In previous videos, we explored the challenges of being unheard or ignored in the important relationships in your life. A few of the underlying characteristics of the person who ignored you were discussed, such as a haughty superiority, a hidden negative aggressive attitude, and a general sense of aloofness, what we called the stone wall. Their ultimate goal is twofold. One, to block out anything of value that could potentially come in and challenge their system of knowing everything. And two, to protect themselves from feelings of vulnerability, humiliation, or inferiority. In my practice with these individuals and couples, the goal is to deal constructively with this negative aggressive attitude to foster genuine communication and connectedness. The work rests on a basic premise. The premise is not only to disregard something of value that you have to offer, but ultimately to also not accept within oneself a need for genuine connection, intimacy, and dependence. And by the way, this could play out in a very powerful and potent way with something just as simple as you giving a different perspective on a situation, having an opinion on something that's different than their opinion. The work operates on the basic premise that these behaviors are directed not only against any positive, loving relationship with you, but also against any part of the self that experiences a need for connection and the desire to depend on someone, such as, for instance, to accept your opinion, to accept your different perspective. In my work with these individuals and couples, the main goal is to bring this negative aggressive attitude to the surface and to actively help them work it through. When your loved one is in this state, their destructive tendencies overshadow their loving and caring nature. Their entire self becomes aligned with these destructive tendencies, aiming to triumph over not just you, and this is the really important piece, but their own sense of dependency longings, their own sense of loving feelings. That must be trumped as well. During these moments, it's crucial to approach them with patience, understanding, and a non-judging attitude. This is what I find most helpful in such situations. For example, if a loved one seems to be ignoring you, or in my own practice with these individuals, I may gently inquire, did you catch what I was just trying to say? I wonder what happened that you didn't hear me. Do you think we could talk about that for a moment? Did you notice that you didn't hear anything that I said? And then they may say, because you don't have anything of value to offer, or that's just a silly opinion, or it doesn't make sense. In that case, I may say to them, but I noticed that you didn't even pause, not even for a moment, to think about or reflect upon what I was saying. You didn't even give it a second. Sometimes they don't even give it a millisecond. Sometimes I find it helpful just to listen and to show that I'm listening, but not to offer any opinion, advice, suggestion, or clarifying comments until I noticed they are hinting at, of course not asking directly, but hinting at that they would like an opinion or some feedback from me. This then is what I immediately call to their attention. And this is a good opportunity to begin addressing this negative aggressive attitude, because then I may say something to them like, I noticed, or I'm getting the sense that you're looking for something from me. Am I reading that correctly? And if they agree, that's the opportune time to point out that oftentimes I've noticed, and I wonder if they've noticed this as well, that when I give an opinion or make a suggestion or I interpret something that perhaps that's slightly out of their awareness, that you immediately disregard it or devalue it. Did you notice that too? Overall, the therapeutic approach focuses on helping these individuals recognize how they detach from their caring and compassionate side, how they get rid of their concern and love for others by ignoring their own loving, dependent self. In other words, that they ignore the side of themselves that really wants the opinion. Or when that side emerges, they completely negate it by disregarding the valuable opinion that may come in. In my experience, only the very detailed exposure of this system that they're using enables them to make some genuine progress. Eventually, the focus of the work is on how the whole structure is committed to self-sufficiency and is directed against any form of relatedness. And of course, this is what I begin to talk to them about, that they don't need anything. Or I should say that in a different way, that they believe, that they need to believe that they don't need anything from anybody else. By bringing these hidden aspects to light, such as this negative aggressive attitude and the complete denial and insistence on the fact that they don't need anything from anybody else, allows this system, the power of this system, to slowly be diminished. Because this stuff only thrives in isolation and secrecy. So the ultimate goal is to begin to reveal this whole system that they have in place. Okay, I hope I was able to illustrate how and why I talk to somebody in the way that I do when I get the feeling that they are disregarding something that I have to say. And let me just say very quickly, it's not just something I have to say. The important part of this technique is that there's a pattern over a period of time of complete disregard of anything that I have to offer that's of value. If this perspective resonates with you, please subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos on the various facets of narcissism. All right, until next time, bye for now.